Hey everybody, it's Alex here. I'm still in the process of editing my anniversary video, which I realize is overdue to the point of not being an anniversary video anymore, but I digress. I decided to fill in the gaps. I'd record a commentary, and I decided to do a commentary on this episode because it was a very popular episode, and I thought a lot of you might like to hear the process on how I made the decisions I made. So without further ado, here are my thoughts on episode 10, the Identity Crisis episode. It's funny, I shot this when I'd gotten back from an acting class, and I guess I was just in that zone where I wanted to film, and a lot of times that's actually what happens with me, but
strangest and deepest movie
I've
questions.
always felt I've been good with impressions. Anybody who watches my stand-up act knows I like to use a lot of impressions, and I've used a lot of impressions on the show.
Some people call me more
And I thought that a lot of people would like some spoofs of some Channel Awesome contributors.
Why
Though,
do I do this?
I really wanted to do some people who weren't on Channel Awesome, which is one of the reasons I did the Sissy review. Well, actually, there were a lot of reasons I did the Sissy review for that one. I thought the intro to the Sissy review, I thought, first of all, I thought it would be funny to use all these goofy clips, and I also kind of thought, you know, whoever I do, people are going to think the full episode is a spoof of that, and, you know, like if I did Film Brain, people would think that the full episode was going to be a spoof of Film Brain, so I settled on this. Plus, Josh Ling is a good friend of mine. I figured he'd be good-humored about it. Oh, and while we're on the subject, no, I did not ask anyone's permission to do this, except Miss Liv. She is the only person I actually got permission from. But, first up we have Owen Citizen, and Owen Citizen was one I definitely wanted to do because my character's personality is kind of similar, and those are all my books. You know, my book collection. Have a lot of Terry Pratchett, and the thing was that I kind of wish I had done a art house film, but I haven't seen that many art house films, and I had recently reread No Country for Old Men, so that was on my mind, and I know Owen Citizen always begins his videos by reading a book, so I thought that reading the final speech from the book before revealing myself would be a good way to do it. Plus, I had some expertise on that, though. I later found out from Foldable Human that I don't have as much expertise on No Country for Old Men as I thought, as he chewed me out for my superficial knowledge of the book. Quite an interesting read, I have to say, and it's kind of funny because Foldable Human was actually one of the people I thought about doing. I also thought about doing Linkara, but I don't have any Linkara clothes. I thought about doing Mr. Code, Stefan from Animated Analysis. I thought I wanted to do that long-haired creepy guy, but I just don't have the proper materials to do their impressions of them. Like, I don't have a long-haired wig or animation expertise, and yes, filming the Shadow Todd segment, aka my personal hell. I'm really glad the segment turned out well, but it was rough. Like, I put a lot of thought into what song I'd play, because I really do play keyboard. And I eventually settled on Seven Seas of Rye, since that's the one technically advanced song that I know how to play. But I kept messing up, so I eventually settled on Bohemian Rhapsody. But the reason the Shadow Todd segment was so rough to shoot was we were in the middle of a heat wave when I shot it, and it was July. And if you ever wondered why I was glistening, wasn't glistening, that's sweat. Also, if you're wondering how I could play piano while my face was hidden under the cap, I I have really good peripheral vision, so I could actually see perfectly well. And here we have another one that I really had to do. I knew I had to do the Ask That Guy parody. And it's ironic because I actually haven't watched that many Ask That Guy episodes, but I knew I had to because our show premises are so similar. And here's another one that I just had to do. Ever since I did my Alex the Snob video, I always wanted to bring Alex the Snob back. But the question was how, and this was how. And it's funny because when I first did my original Alex the Snob video, I wanted to do... A lot of people told me that my mannerisms were just dead on, and it's funny because thinking about it, I don't even think I was really going for Brad Jones's mannerisms. I guess he and I just have very similar mannerisms. And for those of you wondering about this tag at the end, the reason I gave that, I knew it was kind of a tough call because normally I like to end with a little line, but I couldn't think of anything to end this with, so I just used the... I knew I wanted to play the Sammy Davis Jr. song to be ironic, but I couldn't think of any... But I decided on the line Cornshak uses in all of his videos, and now I'm sitting here talking to myself, by myself. That is Chaos Theory. Oh, yeah. One thing I do want to talk about is that this was the first episode since my pilot where I didn't do any requests, and one of the reasons for that was I like to personalize things, and I didn't do requests in this episode because I was trying to... I figured I'm not doing it as me, I'm doing it as an impression. I mean, even if the answers are all jokes, I still want to... I still like that it's me doing the jokes, not just an impression doing the jokes. But yeah, and that was episode 10. It was a big hit. A lot of people liked the impressions. I'm very happy with the success. And I'm really hoping to have my 1-year anniversary out soon.